Philadelphia just got rocked by brutal injury news, and it could completely change the Eagles' season. A training camp star has gone down, trade rumors are heating up, and Jalen Hurts might be carrying more pressure than ever before. But in the middle of all this chaos, one surprising new face is already making waves in the offense. Buckle up, because this is not the camp ending anyone in Philly expected. Training camp is over in Philadelphia, and it ended with both excitement and heartbreak. Wednesday's practice marked the last official session for the Eagles' 90-man roster, the final chance for players to make their mark before the August 26th cutdown. Soon, 37 players will be told their NFL dreams in Philly are over. That alone brings emotion, but the Eagles' camp finale had even more drama. The good news? Jalen Hurts looked sharper than he has all summer. He's building real chemistry with his new weapons, throwing with confidence, and finishing camp on a high note. The offense, at times, looked electric. You could feel the energy in the air. But the bad news? The injury list in Philadelphia is growing by the day, and it's not just small injuries. It's big names, important starters, and one camp breakout whose dream season has been cut short before it even began. Let's break it down. A.J. Brown has been dealing with a hamstring issue. Landon Dickerson's got a knee problem. Jordan Mailata suffered a concussion. Rookie quarterback Tanner McKee banged up his throwing finger. Young defensive back Drew Makuba is nursing a hamstring. Devonta Smith tweaked his groin. Johnny Wilson went down with a knee and ankle injury. And cornerback Kelly Ringo has a quad issue. That's not just a list, that's a warning sign. Philadelphia is banged up at multiple key positions, and it's creating real concern about how the team will look heading into the season. The most devastating of all, Johnny Wilson, the second-year receiver, who had been one of the most exciting breakout players of camp, will miss the entire season after suffering a brutal knee and ankle injury in practice. He had gone from a bubble player fighting for a roster spot to almost a lock for the 53, impressing fans and coaches alike. And now, just like that, his season is gone. It's heartbreaking. But here's where things get interesting and where you see the genius of Howie Roseman. Just days before Wilson went down, Roseman made a move that now looks almost prophetic. He traded for wide receiver John Mechie III, giving the Eagles a reliable new target right before Wilson's injury hit. It almost feels like Roseman knew what was coming, and once again, the Eagles' front office finds a way to stay a step ahead. Wilson's loss is going to hurt, no doubt about it, but the Eagles aren't folding. The camp might be over, but the real test starts now. Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. How worried are you about these injuries? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much confidence do you still have in this team heading into the season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Johnny Wilson's injury leaves a huge hole, not just because of his size and skill, but because of the way he blocked on the outside. That's something the Eagles value, and it's not easy to replace. But here's the twist. Wilson's setback may have just opened the door for someone else to make his NFL dream come true. Step in Darius Cooper. Cooper has been one of the biggest surprises of training camp. Every day, he's made plays, and on Wednesday, he proved once again why the coaches can't ignore him. He burned Adoree Jackson across the middle for a touchdown, then hauled in what reporters are calling an unreal grab from Jalen Hurts, threading the ball between 3, maybe even 4 defenders, and Cooper somehow came down with it. That's not just a highlight catch. That's the kind of play that stamps your ticket onto the final 53. Jalen Hurts himself has praised Cooper's strong hands, calm presence, and ability to win tough catches. When your quarterback trusts you, that means everything. Wilson's loss hurts, but Cooper's rise is one of the best stories of camp, and it looks like we'll be seeing him in midnight green for years to come. But while one young player is earning his spot, another may be losing his. Cornerback Kelly Ringo was spotted standing on the sidelines with what's being described as a quad injury. Oddly enough, he hadn't shown any signs of being hurt the day before. So now the questions begin. Is this a real injury, Or is it something else? We've seen teams do this before: hold a player out, list him with a phantom injury, and quietly shop him around the league. Just look at how Washington handled Brian Robinson Jr. recently. And here's the bigger clue: Ringo has already been demoted to third-string cornerback. That's a strong sign that the coaching staff no longer sees him as a starting option. So now the speculation is heating up. Is Ringo actually hurt? Or is this the Eagles preparing to move him in a trade? If a deal is coming, it'll likely happen before the cutdown deadline. If not, Ringo may be stuck as a special teamer instead of the cornerback many hoped he'd become. Either way, this is a storyline every fan should keep their eyes on. Philadelphia may not just be adding to the roster in the coming days, they might also be clearing space by moving on from a once promising young player. Eagles fans, let's talk. Do you think Darius Cooper is the real deal and ready to become the next breakout star? And what's your gut feeling on Kelly Ringo, hurt or trade bait? Drop your takes in the comments below. Now, let's talk about what might be the most important injury of them all: rookie safety Drew Makuba. Makuba showed up big in his first preseason action. He grabbed an interception, scooped up a fumble, and looked like the kind of player who's always around the ball, the type of safety every defense needs. Coaches praised him not only for his athleticism, but also for his intelligence. In the meeting room, he asks the right questions, he studies like a pro, and you could feel trust starting to build between him and the veterans around him. That's why this hamstring injury feels like such a punch to the gut. On Wednesday, Makuba was on the sidelines in street clothes, watching practice, but unable to participate. And with hamstrings, there's always uncertainty. Is it a couple of weeks? A month? Longer? Nobody really knows. But if J. Brown's situation is any example, this could drag out. Here's why this matters so much. Makuba wasn't just another rookie trying to hang on. He was this close to being named the starter heading into Week 1. And without him, the Eagles' depth at safety suddenly looks thin. Right now, it's Sidney Brown starting and Tristan McCollum as the next man up. Be honest, does that sound like a championship secondary to you? And here's where Howie Roseman comes in. If Makuba misses extended time, Roseman may have no choice but to dip back into the trade market. Yes, Justin Simmons has been the name on everyone's lips all offseason. But a new option just hit the market, and it could be even better. The Patriots are reportedly shopping Kyle Duggar. Yes, the same Kyle Duggar who has been one of New England's most reliable defensive backs for years. He's 29, he's tough, and he's productive: 424 tackles and 9 interceptions across 74 career starts. And here's the kicker: the Patriots are willing to eat part of his $53 million extension just to move him. Think about it: a veteran safety with size, experience, and playmaking ability suddenly available right when the Eagles lose their promising rookie? That's not just a coincidence. That feels like a move waiting to happen. Roseman has always been aggressive, and this might be the next big decision he has to make. Do you ride it out with Brown and McCollum, hoping Makuba heals quickly? Or do you pull the trigger and bring in a proven weapon like Duggar to stabilize the back end of this defense? Either way, this story could shape how dangerous the Eagles' secondary is when the real games begin. Eagles fans, let's hear it. If you were Howie Roseman, what would you do? Stick with the young guys and wait for Makuba, or make a bold move for Kyle Duggar right now? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to see how many of you are ready for another blockbuster trade. Let's be real, 2 weeks before kickoff against the Dallas Cowboys, timing is everything. If the Eagles want to make a move at safety, they need to do it now. Not next week. Not after the preseason, now. That's why the Kyle Duggar rumors are picking up steam. On paper, he makes more sense than Justin Simmons. Duggar is younger, more versatile, and already under contract. But here's the catch: there's no official link between Duggar and the Eagles yet. No insider reporting that Roseman has made the call. So right now, it's just speculation. If you ask me to put a number on it, I'd say there's about a 30% chance this trade actually happens. Why so low? Because of timing. If Duggar or Simmons is going to wear midnight green and start week 1, the deal has to happen in the next few days. Otherwise, it's too late. You can't expect a new safety to learn Vic Fangio's system overnight and then cover CeeDee Lamb under the lights in Dallas. And while Duggar talk is heating up, another storyline just won't go away: A.J. Brown's hamstring. For the second straight day, Brown didn't practice. Instead, he was running scout team quarterback just to stay active. Head coach Nick Sirianni was asked about it, and, as usual, he gave nothing. No timeline, no details, just a vague comment about the guys working hard to be ready. That silence isn't comforting. Every day Brown misses only adds more concern that this could linger into the regular season. And maybe, just maybe, that's why Howie Roseman pulled the trigger on a deal for John Mechie III. Mechie has wasted no time making his presence felt. Right out of the gate, he's been working with the first team. In just his first practices as an Eagle, he made tough grabs across the middle and showed the crisp route running that made him such a promising young prospect. It's clear the Eagles are determined not to repeat the Jahan Dotson situation from last year, where a midseason trade left them with a receiver who never fully got comfortable in the offense. Dotson himself admitted this week that the advice he's giving Mechie is simple but crucial: dive into the playbook. Learn as fast as you can, because in this offense, talent is not enough. You've got to know where to be and when, or Jalen Hurts won't look your way. So far, Mechie looks locked in. And if A.J. Brown's injury drags on, this young receiver could go from trade afterthought to key weapon in a matter of weeks. Eagles fans, it's decision time. If you're Howie Roseman, do you roll the dice and trade for Kyle Duggar right now, or do you trust John Mechie and the current roster to hold it down until A.J. Brown is healthy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This could be the turning point of the season. The first thing you notice about John Mechie in an Eagles uniform isn't the speed, the smooth route running, or even the hands. It's how seamlessly he's already sliding into this offense. 2 days into camp, and you can already see the vision. He's not just learning the playbook, he's absorbing it, molding himself into the system, and embracing whatever role comes his way. That role might shift, it might evolve, but the mentality is clear. Next man up, no excuses. One wrinkle that's jumped out immediately? Pre-snap motion. Philadelphia dabbled with it under Kellen Moore last year, but now it looks like they're leaning even harder into it, and Mechie is right at the center. NFL offenses today are obsessed with using motion to tip coverages and create mismatches. It's a weapon that makes life easier for the quarterback and forces defenses to hesitate. And here's the scary part: Mechie isn't just a motion decoy. He's being deployed as a true weapon. Another chess piece in what already might be the most dynamic passing attack in football. "I just want to contribute," Mechie said. Simple words, but you can see it in his play. He's not worried about headlines or roles. He's worried about how he shows up every single day. And when you add that mindset to a receiving core already loaded with stars, the result is dangerous. But where Mechie's arrival has created excitement, it's also sparked questions about Jahan Dotson's future. On paper, it was a low-risk, high-reward trade for Mechie. But some around the league are whispering, could this move eventually push Dotson out the door? One team to watch? The Minnesota Vikings. With Jordan Addison suspended and injuries piling up, Minnesota is desperate for receiver help. A veteran like Adam Thielen might be the safer bet. But Dotson is younger, faster, and has the kind of ceiling that could make the Vikings think twice. If they're going to act, it'll happen quickly. Don't be shocked if that phone call to Philadelphia comes sooner rather than later. And while we're talking rumors, here's another one swirling through Eagles Twitter: Azeez Ojulari being cut. Let's be clear, this feels far-fetched. Ojulari was one of Philadelphia's biggest free agent signings this offseason, and his play over the past couple weeks, especially against Cleveland, was nothing short of impressive. Cutting him now would make little sense. Far more likely, the Eagles keep a deep edge rotation: Josh Uch, Nolan Smith, Patrick Johnson, Jokes Hunt, and yes, Oyulari anchoring the group. If you're reading between the lines, this Eagles roster is shaping into something frightening. They're not just adding names, they're adding versatility, competition, and depth everywhere you look. The roster battles in Philadelphia just took another twist. Many thought second-year edge rusher Nolan Smith or rookie Jalex Hunt might be on the bubble, but the real surprise could come in the secondary. Eli Ricks, who flashed promise last year, might be the unexpected cut. Why? Because the Eagles simply love their depth at defensive end too much to give one away. That could push rookie corner Antoine Powell-Rilland to the practice squad, keeping the pass rush rotation stacked heading into September. And while those roster moves are sparking debate, all eyes are still on the face of the franchise. Jalen Hurts just wrapped up camp in dominant fashion: 14 of 15, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he did it without A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith. The national media spent the summer questioning him, nitpicking his game, and doubting his leadership. But Hurts never cared about headlines. His focus has been on building a unit that operates like one heartbeat, one rhythm, one identity. When he speaks about execution, it's not just about throwing touchdowns. It's about linemen knowing how quickly the ball is coming out, receivers creating space with precision, and everyone understanding their role in the bigger picture. That's why his teammates follow him without hesitation, because Hurts sets the tone for accountability and belief. But there's another name Philly fans can't stop talking about. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., the rookie linebacker, capped off camp with yet another interception, adding to what has been one of the most eye-opening summers of any Eagle. No one knows if he'll start week 1, but everyone knows he'll be on the field. Vic Fangio now has the best kind of problem, figuring out which combination of linebackers gives the Eagles the most firepower against Dallas in 2 weeks. That's where the attention has already shifted. Preseason snaps for the bottom of the depth chart still matter, but for Hurts, Fangio, and the core of this roster, the mission is clear: Dallas. Week 1. 2 weeks away. Every ounce of preparation now belongs to that matchup. The games that count are here, and Philadelphia is already sharpening its blade for their oldest rival. The end of training camp always sneaks up on us. We wait all summer long for this moment, dreaming about football, counting down the days. And then, boom, in what feels like the blink of an eye, it's over. That's where the Eagles are right now. Camp is winding down, and the focus is starting to shift. The long grind of practices and drills is giving way to something bigger: the first game of the season. And make no mistake, those first few weeks, Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, they set the tone for the entire year. Coaches and players know it. That's why every rep, every adjustment, every detail they're working on right now is designed for one thing: being ready when that opening kickoff flies through the air. Training camp might feel short, but in that short time, we've seen so much. We've seen young guys step up and shine, turning heads and making names for themselves. We've seen veterans locking in, reminding everyone why they're leaders. We've seen battles, breakthroughs, and a few heartbreaks too. Now comes the hard part: roster cuts. Who stays? Who goes? It's the cruelest part of football because dreams are made and broken in the same breath. Some new stars are about to rise, and others will see their time in Philly come to an end. That's the reality of this game. But no matter what happens, one thing is certain: the Eagles look sharper, tougher, and more prepared than ever. Training camp has been a success, and now it's time to carry that energy into September, where every mistake costs you and every play matters. This is where it gets real, Eagles Nation. The countdown to week 1 is on. Now I want to hear from you. How confident are you in the Eagles heading into opening week? Drop your confidence level in the comments. 1 means you're nervous, 10 means you believe this team is about to dominate.